Against the Saints right here on Fox. As Brady adjusts to his new team, backup QB Blaine Gabbert shed some light on how preparing with a shortened offseason looks like. Gabbert told Peter King, quote, "This was OTA day one, which should have been May 15th practice, but now we're in a time crunch." Shannon, how difficult will it be for Brady and his new team to be ready for opening day?
Well, Skip, if Brady was in his own offense, it wouldn't be a problem because he'd been in that offense for 20 years, Skip, so everything is just second nature. He would be worried about the other guys getting caught up, the new guys that's coming in. But this is the old guys, they know this system for the most part. It's Brady that needs to catch up. And so it's different. As Blaine Gabbert said, is that this should have been May 15th practice, and here we are We're August 15th.
The first day of OTAs. That's what it was.
Basically. So you're in pads for the very first time. I think that's their first padded practice. And so you're way behind because, as Jenny read, they're 26 days away from the season. Not preseason, the regular season where the games actually count.
And there are no preseason games.
And there are no preseason games. So, Skip, it's like you go and you buy something, you don't know what you got. You just get it home and get like, well, what all do we get? Well, you won't know until you throw it out there on the field, opening day against the New Orleans Saints. But I'm listening to Bruce Arians, Skip. He said the thing about the offense is that Tom is going to throw it to the guy that's open. He doesn't take shots. If it's not the read, he read it out. He and Peyton have the same characteristics. He's not going to throw a 50-50 ball. There's a 90% completion. So it does seem like, to me, they're going to be running a whole lot of similar to what Jameis, because a lot of what Jameis did, Skip, is that he relied on those guys, the Chris Godwin, the Mike Evans, to make plays for him down the field. And if you remember, Skip, when they didn't re-sign Jameis, Chris Godwin says, yeah, Jameis made some mistakes, but all those interceptions weren't on Jameis. Because in this offense, they ask you to do that a lot. And so it's going to be very interesting to see the nuances that they add to take advantage of what Tom really does, which is the intermediate to short passing game, which is not the deep ball, what Jameis does really well.
By the way, they were raving yesterday. They said, old Tommy Brady, he threw one 60 yards down to little Scotty Miller. Scotty Miller for a home run. 60 yards in the air from old Tom
Brady can't even ride a bicycle 60 yards, let alone throw a football that far.
And all of a sudden, I told you better beware of Scotty Miller.
Oh, my goodness.
Little Amendola, Edelman, little Hogan. He's got it all. He's got it all rolled into one. Here we go. This is going to be Tom Brady's greatest challenge. He wanted a new challenge. He got one. Welcome
I don't think
to
he
the
wanted
challenge.
Like this, Skip.
Not like this, because I don't think he saw this coming.
No.
Because it's virtually impossible to have the quote-unquote first day of OTAs on August 18th. And as you say, it's 26 days to the opener at your arch rival in the team picked to win your division at New Orleans. And you are with a brand new team, brand new coaching staff, brand new city, obviously, brand new house, your living circumstance. Everything's new. And you don't even get one preseason game to try to figure it out. By this point, if we were normal, and I'm not sure we'll ever be normal again in this world, but that's the whole nother issue. But by now, normally, you would have played two preseason games.
Absolutely.
And you know and I know what would have happened. Old number 12 would have pushed to play maybe a half of those games for the first two. And he would have asked, could we keep the first team out there for maybe a half? Because I need to figure these guys out on the fly against a real defense. Not that Tampa's isn't a real defense, because it's really good. But the point is, now he's playing college football again, because college has no preseason games, which I've never understood. I thought they should at least be granted one preseason game against some team in your neighborhood that you could at least have a sort of a controlled scrimmage against. But remember, college football, a lot of times, normally, there are a lot of big clashes on opening weekend, big intersectional clashes at Jerry World, and they just get thrown into the fray cold turkey.
They do.
You've practiced covering punts and kickoffs and all the things, holding on field goals, But it's one thing to do it in practice. It's a whole nother thing to do it in New Orleans in the Superdome.
There's some things you just can't simulate in practice. Skip. And, the kick return, the return games, and all the special teams element of it, you can't simulate that. Because guess what? You tell, okay, guys, when you get there, pull up. Well, in a game, those guys aren't pulling up. No. Those guys, because those guys that are on those special teams, Skip, that's probably how they're going to make it. So they got to make a name for themselves. So now what do? And this, like you said, this would normally be, we'd be 2 games in. 2 games into a preseason.
Yep.
Now we're no games in. And you're going to just go, okay, guys, okay, Tommy, we know Tommy, this is going to be the starter. Let's go play football. So it's very unique. And because Tom has not been in this system, yeah, I mean, Skip, he's thrown the in cutting route. I saw Mike Evans run an out route or a flat. He's thrown that 100 times. But he just hadn't called it what they're calling it in Tampa.
No, he has not.
So that's the biggest thing, is learning this this verbiage, and then equating it to things that he's very familiar with.
So if anybody can pull this off, that guy can pull this off. And I expect him to play at a high level on, whatever's that, September 13th at New Orleans.
Right.
Conversely, the same issue could face Cam Newton in Foxborough, because if they're going to throw him into the fire, it's all new to him. It might be even more complicated for Cam right now than it is for Tom in Tampa.
Because, Skip, if you remember when Peyton went to Denver, they basically adopted his system.
They did?
Yeah, I mean, if Tom was there, okay, y'all learn my system. Tom would be no problem. Yeah, he's heard this verbiage for 20 years, so it would probably be a lot. I guess Bruce is saying it's easier for you to learn us as opposed to 11 guys learning you.
Okay. I don't think Cam can tell Coach Belichick, can we change the terminology? I got to use Carolina terminology. Sorry.
Coach Belichick ain't changing anything.
Right.
That's probably why number 12 is up out of there. It's because he was unrelenting. He was not willing to change. And you hear these stories about Brady wanted more and more input so he could feel involved. Coach Belichick like, I'm trying to cut you down so you be less involved.
All of which is why I will not be surprised if Bill Belichick starts Brian Hoyer on week 1. Because he's in his 3rd time around there. He knows it inside and out. And I believe Belichick would think, I have a better chance of winning my opener with Brian Hoyer than with Stid, as in Jared Stidham in his 2nd year, or with Cam coming to a whole new situation.
Man, look here. But he's got Brian Hoyer. He had a nice little career, Skip. He carved out a nice little
niche. He's not bad.
He's taking a team to a playoff, a playoff game.
Yep.
But let's not. We know what
I'm just saying, under these very abnormal circumstances, it wouldn't surprise me if he says, I'm going to try to win my opener with a guy who knows how to call how to run our system and how to run the huddle. But maybe week 2, week 3, maybe he segues to Cam.
No, I'm counting on Cam. Cam been in that thing. I just saw him on here dancing. He doing his thing. Yep. Just like he just in a different uniform doing what he does. Cam gonna be Cam. Yep.
Okay, calling the same play.
No, he doing all that now. See,
well, you're just watching as if
I would like Tom's chances in week 1 better than Cam's chances in a new offense.
Well, consider that Cam look at Tom's weapons as opposed to what
thank you.
One guy got high grade assault rifle, the other guy got BB guns,
and that's why Tom Brady looked so bad last year. Thank you very much.
But it's not like
thank you for bringing that to a conclusion.
Well, it wasn't like old Tom was a marksman either.
Well, he's thrown to the worst group of receivers in the league, and now good luck, Cam.
Well, Edelman say the show goes on. So Cam doing that thing, that's what Jules say.
Okay, good luck.
Jules.
What was a quote from Belichick? That Cam was an impressive kid or,
Hardworking.
Hardworking, excuse me, hardworking.